Good morning, guys, or good afternoon, whether you're joining me from the present or the future. Welcome back to another FutureFight Vanguard video. Or should I say, welcome back to the Corona Ketchup Corner. Welcome back, guys, to our Corona Ketchup series, where we catch up on everything while we're quarantined by COVID-19, COVID 2020, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, we're going to be continuing on today with the Crystal Melody set. Yet again, today we're talking about Bermuda. So today we're going to be talking about the Riviere deck. I know this video is coming out at a weird time. I actually had to pre-record like over some parts that I already recorded because we had a ban list now that affected this deck. So with the ban list, a Riviere got errata to you only be able to ride it once per turn. Now you guys will see in the games portion of the video and like me explaining in the deck list part of the video, like you guys will see me explaining it as if it is just still the regular unban listed deck, but I will also still mention things here and there, how the ban list affects things and how you should play it going forward from the ban list. So with that being said, we're going to get right into the video here. If you guys haven't already, be sure to like the video, comment down below letting me know your favorite parts of the video or maybe your favorite part of the deck, or if you have tips for anyone else. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell button below so that you don't have to miss any notifications for the next time we put a video up live. Be sure to check out our second channel if you guys are interested in anime, animation, or video games, and be sure to check out the channel memberships as well if you guys want to support the channel and get deeper into Vanguard through my channel. But yeah, like I said, let's get right into the deck. So obviously, like I said, we're going to be talking about Riviere. So everything in the Riviere deck is pretty much focused around your Vanguard, which is top idle Riviere, the grade 3. Now there is a grade 3, a grade 2, a grade 1, and a grade 0 Riviere. So it's just like Coral in that way. So you kind of have like a ride chain type thing. Each grade kind of like rewards you for riding it, but each one has like a ride skill that allows you to ride it from hand. So you get different effects for doing that. But basically with the errata of this deck, you're only able to use the grade 3s, discard 2 and ride it once per turn. However, before the ban list, this was just you could do it as many times as you wanted per turn. So if you had top idle Riviere on your Vanguard and you had 3 other top idle Riviere grade 3s in your hand, as long as you can pay the cost, you could ride it, which was really devastating for your opponent, especially if they went second, because you're going first and you're going to grade 3 first, so they have to deal with all that pressure being on grade 2. So you guys will see that in the games portion of the video. But let's get right into the grade 3s. So obviously, like I was talking about just now, we have 4 top idle Riviere. Top idle Riviere has 2 Vanguard skills. The first one is when placed on Vanguard Circle, you can counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So pretty simple. It's a +1. Just really helps you be able to like negate that second cost a little bit, as much as you can. And some builds of Riviere run more draw triggers because of that fact, so they can just cycle through a lot of stuff at the same time. Its second skill is at the end of the battle that it attacked, you can discard 2 cards from your hand, ride up to 1 card with Riviere in its card name from your hand to stand, and that unit gets -1 drive. So important to note here is not only can you ride the grade 3 Riviere from your hand, but using the grade 3 Riviere skill, you can also ride the grade 2, the grade 1, or even the grade 0 if you'd like. So that definitely does help you close out some games, and with Force, like none of them will get drive checks because your drive is -1. So since they all have single drive, the 1, 2, and 3, or sorry, the 0, 1, and 2 all have 1 drive naturally, so they would lose their drive check, so you'd basically just be attacking with a blunt Vanguard attack. But if you ride a grade 3 Riviere, it gets 1 drive check after that. It also gets its on-ride skill of the discard 1 and draw 2. Moving on to our backup grade 3, which we never ever want to ride. This is basically just a card that helps our engine of Riviere a lot more. So this is animated routing Marion that we run at 4. So it has an activation skill during the main phase that you can activate. If your Vanguard is top idle Riviere, you can discard this card from your hand, draw a card, and put a card from your drop zone into your soul. And if the card put from drop zone into soul is a Riviere card, then you can put it into your hand. And this ability may only be used by a card with the same name once per turn. So Marion really helps you. I really only use Marion personally when I'm getting a card back, because that way it's a +1. I don't really ever ever need soul for anything unless I need to like emergency Caro or something like that. But that never really comes up like in a lot of situations, so I'd rather just get the shield to my hand or be able to get a unit to my hand to fill my board. So Marion's really good for that because it's basically a +1 because you discard her, you draw a card, and then you get a free Riviere card back. So very, very good card to help cycle through your deck and return your Riviere units, especially your Riviere grade 3s to your hand. Then we have, moving on to our grade 2s, we have 4 Super Idle Riviere. So Super Idle Riviere has 2 abilities. The first one is an activation ability that activates in your hand. If your Vanguard is grade 2, you can ride this card as the cost, draw a card, and you can call 2 Mermaid Idle Riviere from your soul to rear guard. So a lot of people have asked me this question, which I will address. That question being, if I only have 1 Mermaid Idle Riviere in my soul, can I still call it off of Super Idle Riviere? Yes, because you basically do as much as possible of the skill, so you don't have to have exactly 2 or more than 2 or anything like that to be able to use that part of the skill. You just get it anyways. So yeah, so you know, that since you guys don't have to ask that question basically. And then the second skill is on rearguard circle once per turn. When your Vanguard with Riviere in its card name is placed, you may stand this unit. So basically just a restanding rearguard, kind of like Neoflame and Kagero. Makes your Riviere attacks kind of turn into like a Overlord the Great type thing. But it's better than Overlord the Great because you don't have to do it on second ride. You can just do it out the gate. So very, very good, especially when your opponent's on grade 2 because they will not be higher than 10k most likely. Moving on to the next grade 2 in our stack, which we've talked about a lot in this Bermuda series, for Choco Love Heart Liselot. So you guys should already know Liselot's skill, but it has 2 skills. The first one is, and when it's in hand, it can be called as a grade 1. It can be called to rearguard even when your Vanguard is grade 1, so it's grade 2 after being placed, which really helps in your early rush game and stuff like that. So you can help set up a board a little early, and you can help rush your opponent if you happen to go second. Because its second skill is Vanguard Rearguard. When placed, look at the top card of your deck, call it to Rearguard, or put it into your soul. And this ability may only be used by a card name with the same card name once per turn. So same thing as Marion. You can only use 1 Marion per turn, no matter how many Marions you have in your hand. Same thing with Liselot. You can only use 1 Liselot skill per turn, no matter how many Liselots in your hand. Now, however, if you have multiple Liselots and for some reason you want to call them, you can call them when you are grade 1. Does not negate that for some newbies viewing the deck. Then we have 3 Scramble Red Arain. So Arain has a pretty simplistic rearguard ability. When your Vanguard with Riviere and its card name is placed, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. So basically it will get, you know, plus 10,000 power on ride, on re-ride from Top Idle Riviere. So it just makes it a really good beat stick rearguard. And along with Super Idle Riviere, these are like your ideal rearguards to have on rearguard circle. Then we have 2 from Colorful Pastoral Caro. So Caro has Melody, which is not important in this deck because this is not a Melody deck. The second ability is when placed from hand on rearguard circle, you can Soul Blast 2, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as your grade 3 Vanguard, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and this ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once per turn. So basically, you can only use 1 Caro per turn, no matter if you have multiples in your hand, and then when you do use this card skill, you have to be on grade 3, but if you're on Marion or Top Auto Riviere, preferably, you get to just search Auto Riviere, which is really, really cool because you get to go into your like instant, really powerful attacks really fast. Then we have, moving on to our grade 1s, we have 4 Mermaid Idle Riviere. So Mermaid Idle Riviere has 2 abilities. The first one is an activation ability from hand, like the rest of the Riviere cards. Soul Blast 1, and you may ride this card on top of a grade 1. You can as the cost, and then you look at the top 7 cards from your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Riviere and its card name from among them, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and if the card Soul Blasted was Bermuda Triangle Cadet Riviere, which is the grade 0, then you can draw a card. So this is a really good plus when you have it in the early game. One of the best hands that you can get is really starting with 2 Mermaid Idle Rivieres in your hand because you'll most likely get to everything else. However, I still play it safe with my mulligan, as you guys will see in my matches, but if you do just decide to keep whatever your hand is and 2 Mermaid Idle Riviere, you'll probably be good to go because you need to keep a grade 1 and 2 Mermaid Idol Rivieres, because you still need to ride a grade 1 first and then be able to use the on-hand ability from Mermaid Idol Riviere, which requires that you're grade 1. Then its rearguard ability is if it's in the back row, this unit gets plus 2,000 continuously. So it's a 10k booster continuously. Not too shabby, but not terrible either. Then we have 4 special message Aurora. So Aurora says Vanguard rearguard in place, draw a card, discard a card. Pretty simple, just filter. And then this ability cannot be used by a card with the same card name once per turn. So you cannot use multiple Auroras per turn, even if you have the cards to do it. Then our last grade 1 in the deck, we run 4 Loftiest Pier Eevee. So Eevee on rearguard circle, when our Vanguard with Riviere in its card name is placed, if we have 1 or less face-up cards in our damage zone, then we can retire this unit, draw a card from our deck, and then countercharge 1. So helps keep our counterblast lively for, you know, Riviere, and then also allows us to draw more cards where Riviere is like minusing us from the discard. So sometimes it can like negate that out. Then for our grade 0s, we have 1 Bermuda Triangle Cadet Riviere as our starter. Obviously, really, really important to run this as your starter, not only for cards like Marion, but also for Mermaid Idol Riviere, because it directly says it in the text that you need to Soul Blast this to draw the card. So we run Riviere as the starter, and then we run 8 Crit, 4 Draw, and 4 Heal, 4 Throbbing Shooter Peria, 2 Direct Shine Parsh, 2 Lover Hope Lena, 4 Glittery Baby Rene, and 4 Handmaid Lover Elena. So with that being that, let's get right into the game portion of the video. So first game seems like we're playing against Genesis, the Astral Plane version of the deck. We go first, we ride Aurora, we draw a card and discard a card. We chose to discard the PG because, like I said, this is pre-ban list, so this is a really early game, or it was a really early game focused deck, so you really don't care about, you know, like shield and stuff like that, so we just went for discarding the PG. As you guys can see on our turn 2, we rode a grade 2, and then we used 2 grade 2 Riviere skills to ride, and just to get soul and get the draw. Our opponent rides and attacks us. Unfortunately, we damaged a Riviere, which was unfortunate because I thought about no passing the last attack. But then we ride Riviere, use the discard draw, use the grade 1, use Caro to search out a Riviere, and then we use Marion to draw a card and get a Super Idol Riviere back from the drop zone. So we attack with both of our sides first, and then we attack with Vanguard. We get a crit. We use the skill of Riviere to discard 2, ride a new Riviere. Riviere Vanguard skill, Counterboss 1, discard 2. Discard 1 and then... it's discard 2. But yeah, basically we're rewriting here a bunch of times. We just did it twice, and then we attacked for 40. Our opponent rides Astro's Dragon, gets the Force 1, gets another Force 1 from the skill. Also goes for playing the grade 2 Pluto here. He attacks our Vanguard with no hit, just so that he can get another Force 1. And then he attacks us for 43, which we easily no guard. We take a damage. And then we draw for turn, and we just attack for 20, and then attack for 43. He couldn't block that, so he no guards. We check a crit, and that ends up being the game for game 1. Loading up game 2 here. Looks like we're playing against Aquaforce. So our hand is kind of crappy. As you guys can see, any hand without any Rivieres is like kind of crappy. We played Elise a lot on grade 1 turn, just to like help set us up a little bit, just in case we could get like some kind of early rush. We did have the grade 2 Riviere, and we drew into the grade 1, and we also got the grade 3 now. So we attacked for 18 to our opponent's Vanguard. He no guards. He does get a heal, but we're able to hit him still because of the boost being so large, or being 10k. He goes for his top 5 search, and if you guys are wondering how he called that grade 3 to rearguard circle, he had the grade 1 that he rode, so it allows him to superior call, so he's able to do that. We ride top idol, and I think I forgot to use the discard draw skill, but I do attack his Vanguard. He PGs, and we check a crit. We spread it to our rearguard. We attack Vanguard again, and he takes the rearguard and blocks the Vanguard. He took both, and then he healed out of it. So he wasn't going to be able to block, and then he healed out of it. So he attacks us, minuses our Vanguard by 5 because of last card Revan. Attacks us for 20, which we block, and then attacks us for 40. With 3 drive, we PG, hoping that he doesn't get a crit. So he doesn't get a crit, and then he attacks our rear guard, which we're fine with. We use Marion's skill to get a Riviere back and draw a card. We attack for 20, and then we attack for 31. We should have, we didn't know if we were going to get a grade 3 Riviere, which is ideally what I wanted to ride here, and he's 6 damage heal, so that was a thing. I guess we should have went a little bit deeper here, and we could have rode the grade 1 Riviere, but I didn't want to do that yet, because I didn't want to go that deep. That's what she said, anyways. But our opponent attacks us for 9, we intercept. Our opponent attacks us for 17, we block. Our opponent attacks us again, we go to 18 because of a damage trigger. We PG that, he checks a draw and another draw, PG draw, which is pretty bad for us actually. And we still don't have good Riviere pieces, so we attack him for 31. We get a heal trigger, which is helpful, but not helpful enough, basically. He does ride a 3rd Revan. Uses the skill again to minus us by 5k. We block the 5k attack. We block the 14. We take the 25. We take the 29 because basically what was going to happen is he was going to restand Gallius and Foivos, and we just were not going to be able to block that without a damage trigger, really. So we lose game 2. And then game 3 here. Game 3, we're playing against Aquaforce again. This time we have also a subpar hand. So our opponent goes first. We ride, we draw, we discard. Our hand got a little bit better from that. With the drive check, got a lot better. So he rides Gallius. We ride our grade 2. We use Top Ido Riviere twice. We play Arain, we play Elisalot, we get Elisalot off the top, and we play 2 grade 1s just to get that early rush going. Our opponent 1 passes us, and we get a crit, passing the attack, and then our opponent blocks our rear guard. Our opponent rides Revan, calls Baragios, checks top 5, whiffs, and then just attacks Vanguard, because I assume he doesn't have that many rear guards to commit. We ride Riviere, Arain gets plus 10. We use the Riviere skill, we also used Eevee skill. We use Aurora to draw 1, discard 1, and then we use Marion. We attack for 20, and then we attack, we get a crit, we give it all to Arain. We use Riviere's discard and re-ride, and then we attack for 33. He 1 passes us. We use the skill again, discard, re-ride, and then attacks for 43, and our opponent can't block that. And even if they could, we had 1 more Riviere. So the difference here would be that with the ban list or the errata, you would basically just not ride more than once per turn, which I think we still would have won this game. We still had way more than enough pressure to push it off. But basically, you play the deck the complete same as the whole way that we played it all the way through. You just don't ride more than once per turn. So with that being that has been the FutureFight Vanguard video for Riviere. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video and comment down below letting me know your thoughts. Share the video with your friends, and be sure to check out our second channel, Let's Place Animes, down in the description below, as well as our channel memberships with the join button down below as well. With that being said, this has been Josh from Cardfight Empire, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, guys.